The Prime Minister of the UK announced that they will be reducing the voting age from 18 to 16 in their next session of Parliament. Yeah, it's insane. It's crazy. Here's what Keir Starmer, the Liberal Prime Minister, said in his announcement.
I think it's really important that 16 and 17-year-olds have the vote because they're old enough to go out to work, they're old enough to pay taxes, so to pay in. And I think if you pay in, you should have the opportunity to say what you want your money spent on, which way the government should go. So I'm really pleased that we're able to bring more young people into our democracy and give them the chance to have a say over how their taxes are going to be paid and what they're going to be used for.
So here's what's interesting about his statement. He makes this claim that if you're being taxed, you should have the right to vote. And here's the deal. I actually like that justification. That's true. That's kind of like what America is founded on. No taxation without representation, right? But if you believe that, you actually have two ways to solve it, not one. It's not the one that they're talking about. You can either do what they're saying and reduce the voting age, which again is insane and crazy, or you can make it so 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds don't pay taxes, which that is the correct solution. You should not have 16-year-olds paying income tax. It makes no sense. In fact, if you look at the data in the UK right now, less than 2% of the people under the age of 18 pay taxes. Because in the UK, if you make less than about £12,000, you don't have to pay taxes. There's no taxation on that. Fairly similar to the United States since we have our standard deduction. So essentially, 16-year-olds are not paying taxes anyway. Again, I think that 2% shouldn't have to pay, depending on how much money they make. Maybe if they're just, I don't know if they're like child actors or something and they're just making oodles of money, maybe there could be some justification there. But in any case, no, they shouldn't be taxed. Also, they shouldn't vote. It's not a real argument. The real argument, if Keir Starmer was actually being honest with us, is that he wants liberal kids to keep him in power. In fact, we just got data from this. Again, that's not just a claim. The data has come in from a poll that was taken just a few days ago for 16 and 17-year-olds and what parties that they support in the UK. This is according to ITV News. The majority of, again, 16 and 17-year-olds support the Labour Party, which is their left-wing party, 33%. After that is the Reform UK, which is a right-wing party. It's at 20%. Then you have two more left-wing parties, the Green Party at 18%, Liberal Democrats at 12%, and then the Conservative Party at the very bottom at 10%. So again, Keir Starmer knows the data. He's not an idiot. He knows that he is going to be advancing the cause of the Labour Party hugely if he allows 16 and 17-year-olds to vote. Politics aside, though, for a second, who cares about the parties for just a sec? It is insane to let 16-year-olds vote. Like, if 16 and 17-year-olds wanted to just vote for conservatives in the UK, or we'll say Republicans here in the United States, I still wouldn't support it. It's ridiculous. Like, I've been politically active since I was probably 14 years old when I became into politics. I probably knew more than about 90% of adults when it came to actual politics. That does not mean that I should have gotten the right to vote just because I somehow knew more about politics than some. My politics since then have changed drastically in massive ways. I've gone from a kid who kind of knew a lot about political theory and things like that to someone now who has a wife, a kid, and actually has a buy-in to my community. That's different. That's not something you can really have at 16. Hopefully you don't have a kid at 16. I'm of the opinion that really we should make it harder for people to vote. Voting shouldn't be this just super easy thing. Mail-in ballots, all of that is crap. It should be something that you are bought into. If you're married, if you have a kid, if you're actually part of your community, those are the people that we should really have voting because those are the people who really care and are affected. Policy actually affects me now in a way that it didn't when I was 14 or 16 or really, frankly, even 18. And that's why I think, I think I'm 24 now. 24-year-old can certainly vote and should vote. 16-year-old should not. It's common sense. Everyone knows this. People understand this. But the UK is currently being run by a far left party. So unfortunately, they're going to do, again, they know. The Labour Party knows that this is crazy. They know it's wrong, but they are ultimately doing what will keep them in power longer. Now, most of the people who watch this show are Americans. So you might be thinking, what does this have to do with me? Why does this really matter? The thing is they're trying to do this in their federal elections in the UK, but they already in UK have it so that they can do this in many local elections. And in the United States, it's actually the same way. We have a few states that do allow 16 and 17-year-olds already to vote. And so if you think this is not going to happen in the US, this is how it was in the UK just not a few years ago. Just to name a few, these are some places where 16-year-olds can vote. Tacoma Park, Greenbelt, Hyattsville, Riverdale Park, Chevy Chase, Cheverly, Mount Rainier, Maryland. All those places in Maryland. Massive places. Brattleboro, Vermont. Oakland and Berkeley, California. Those are not small places. Those are very large places, and politically, they have pull. Newark, New Jersey allows local, again, for school board only, they allow kids to be a part of that election process, 16 and 17-year-olds, which is insane. If you live in those cities, may God help you. I mean, seriously, I don't know why a 16-year-old gets to determine what happens to your young kid's education in Newark, New Jersey, for example. Again, at the end of the day, we have to look at UK as an example. We cannot let this spread to the rest of the United States. Growing your business is satisfying, but it's very hard, especially when it comes to talent. You need accountants, sales assistants, marketing specialists. They're all essential for scaling your business, and it can be incredibly expensive, and the talent sometimes is lackluster. And that's why I partnered with Leverage Assistant. Leverage Assistant connects American businesses like yours with those accountants, those data analysts, marketing specialists, you name it, working in the exact same time zones as your business for a fraction of the cost. The average company right now is saving more than $20,000 a year in labor costs thanks to Leverage Assistant. They're not a recruiter. They're not a marketplace. Leverage Assistant vets every single assistant through 12 hours of interviews, skill tests, reference checks, and behavioral assessments to ensure that they're the right cultural and operational fit for your business. And right now, they're being incredibly generous with just my audience. They're giving 1 month free to you so that you, again, no risk to you or your business, you can see the high quality talent that they offer. So to get that 1 month free and to see how high quality their talent really is, head to the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please like this video so other great patriots like yourselves will see it. And you can tune in every single weekday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show, or you can watch another video right here.